Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of I Am Me with A&P. Really excited to introduce my next guest. It's one of my really close mates, and it's really exciting that I get the chance to be able to have this conversation with him, so that his story could possibly inspire somebody out there. But before I get into it, I hope everybody is having a blessed Sunday. And as you all know, this is episode 5, and so let's get started. Awesome. So Trevor, how about you introduce yourself to our audience?
Oh, hello, audience. I'm Trevor. Um, yeah,
Awesome.
hi.
Okay, Trevor, let's get into it.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to be able to meet Trevor through retail, not in terms of working together, but he was just working in another retail store. And we happened to become really good mates. But I'm going to get Trevor to give you guys just a little rundown of exactly what he has been doing with his career and what he is currently doing.
Hey guys, I'm Trevor. Um, yeah, thanks, Marie, for having me.
You're
This is
welcome.
cool. Different. I'm usually behind the camera. But yes, I'm Trevor. I'm currently working in retail at the moment, retail management, and also working at my cousin's hair salon. Yeah.
Amazing. And in terms of your cousin's hair salon, what would be the name of that salon if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, of course. It's Halo Hair and Papatoe. You can look us up on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Awesome, amazing.
Oh.
And just hashtag that, who was it that actually did Kaylani's hair for
Yes.
her recent concert?
Yeah, Sephora. So yeah, we were able to had the opportunity to be able to work with Kaylani and did her hair while she was in New Zealand.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Such
that's
a cool
very cool.
opportunity, yeah.
And it was cool too because I got to meet her because my daughter recently went there to get her hair done.
Yes.
And it looked amazing. So if you guys are wanting to get your hair done, I would 100% recommend Halo and Papatoe. Hit them up; they're amazing. So at the moment, as you said, you are in retail management, yes?
Yes.
So would you be able to take us through your stepping stone of getting to that position within retail management? So how did you start? Casual, part-time, full-time? Where did we start within that industry of retail?
Yeah, I started as a casual. Um, I remember it so vividly because it was I had applied for retail. Retail was like the cool kid. It was like the
100%.
cool kids worked in retail, and I remember it. And it was always like, I'll be honest, like I wasn't always the typical look of what retail wanted at the time. I wasn't, and being Polynesian, at the time it wasn't, it was like a certain look, like
For sure.
tattoos weren't acceptable. And I'm not the smallest guy, and it's retail. It's all about image and all of that. So, yeah, I was hired as casual, for a retail company, and it was a menswear store. My way up into full time, and literally my growth within that company was so quick because I loved it so much. I think it was the passion. I loved it, and so, um, it was hard because coming into a retail store with all these people older than you and had been there longer, and you came in and you did all of this amazing work and you climbed, and then eventually you worked my way up into store management. You had all these people older, they didn't want to listen to you.
Yeah, for sure.
And so they didn't make it very easy at all. And obviously being Polynesian, like, you have to work a little bit harder just to prove yourself, and it's just the reality of it.
Sure. So at the moment, as you said, you are in retail management, yes?
Yes.
So would you be able to take us through your stepping stone of getting to that position within retail management? So I know you've done other retail jobs, and so how was it because how did you start? Casual, part-time, full-time? Where did we start within that industry of retail?
Yeah, I started as a casual. Um, I remember it so vividly because it was I had applied for retail. Retail was like the cool kid. It was like the
100%.
cool kids worked in retail, and I remember it. And it was always like, I'll be honest, like I wasn't always the typical look of what retail wanted at the time. I wasn't, and being Polynesian, at the time it wasn't, there was like a certain look, like
For sure.
tattoos weren't acceptable. And I'm not the smallest guy, and it's retail. It's all about image and all of that. So, yeah, I was hired as casual, for a retail company, and it was a menswear store. And then worked my way up into full time. And literally, my growth within that company was so quick because I loved it so much. I think it was
Yeah.
the passion. I loved it, and so um, it was hard because coming into a retail store with all these people older than you and had been there longer, and you came in and you did all of this amazing work and you climbed, and then eventually worked my way up into store management. You had all these people older; they didn't want to listen to you,
Yeah, for sure.
and so they didn't make it very easy at all. And obviously, being Polynesian, like you have to work a little bit harder just to prove yourself, and it's just the reality of it.
A
Like
hundred
it's
percent.
it's
I
not
totally, I
easy.
totally see where you're coming
Mm,
from, and like because, like you just said, you have to work a little bit harder being
mm,
Polynesian. It can be quite disheartening, right?
yeah,
So,
100%.
what did you do to try and keep yourself focused to be able to be like, I've got this? Like, were there certain things that you did, or was it just your mind just like focusing in on the job and just trying to like not worry about anything else?
To be honest, I think it was just my mindset. I didn't care about anything else. Like I loved working, and I think that was the key thing. I was just passionate about it. I really, really wanted to be in retail, and then when you're in it, you kind of just block it out. Like I didn't realize till I was older how much there was discrimination of certain things that management members would say. Trevor's not the look. They wanted me in certain stores, and to hear regional managers say like, "Oh, Trevor's not the look," or "He's not this and that," was disheartening. But you don't realize how all of that back in the days like really affect you today. Um, and like this might be too much information, but I'm mentally I'm not the strongest
For
person. I've
sure.
gone through my dark times, and yeah, it's hard. Like when you think about it now, like all of the struggles I have now, all of that stuff back then, which I didn't realize has played a huge part as to why I am the way I am today.
Yeah, for sure.
You
I
know.
mean, I've been blessed enough to be able to work with
Mm,
Trevor in two different companies,
mm.
and we've been in different management positions, and it's been really cool because the crazy thing about me and Trevor's relationship is that we're both very passionate about what we believe
Mm,
should like work within retail, and it actually works out really well because we have different passions in different sectors,
mm.
and I feel like Trevor has learned a bit from me. I've learned a bit from Trevor, vice versa,
100%. Yeah.
and I've seen Trevor grow heaps. And you did mention, that your mental health, that it was very difficult to,
Yeah.
sometimes block it out, right? Because we're human and we feel.
Yeah.
So, like, what were some of the things that you had to do to just get through a day? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
that's good.
Yeah, like mental health, holy crap. Like it's been hard. Just mentally I was not expecting this. Um but like it's a real thing. Like back in the days, mental health wasn't really it was taboo.
It wasn't spoken
No,
about.
yeah, especially in the Polynesian, it's all about like get over it, like
And you're
just
like, you're a man, you need to be hard. Like,
100%.
we don't feel.
100%. And so now that it's been spoken about, it's helped me a lot. But um, like for a retail company, I went through some of my darkest times where I would bawl my eyes out going driving to work, and then just get to work, wipe my tears, get in front of like maybe 30, 40 staff members, and act like nothing happened. That was when it got really scary. And I went through a stage where I just wanted to end my life because yeah, I just mentally wasn't there, and I didn't know how to deal with it because I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah, because it's never
Um,
spoken about.
yeah, and as I grow up now, it's just especially with mental health, it's not trying to not be. It's more like understanding that I'm not the same anymore, and it's just instead of trying to deny who I am, it's just learning how to cope with my feelings and how to manage it, and it's just knowing my
Absolutely.
triggers, and then because I was such a heavy drinker back then, I would black out every weekend.
just to block out all the
Yeah.
emotions. But in reality, like, we all face our own inner problems.
Mm,
And so the fact that you're able to speak about it today is like
yeah.
amazing. Like, that's another step forward.
Yeah.
And you being able to say that is possibly, actually, I feel like it will speak to someone out there,
Yeah.
and that as men, that you are allowed to feel,
Mm,
but it's just something that I feel needs to be spoken about on a regular
100%.
basis. So, like, coming from those times of when you went through, your dark
Mm,
times, like the fact that you showed up at work, you had been crying going to work, you'd wipe your tears, you'd go into your company, and you would lead the team, because at
mm,
that point you were like head management.
mm.
Like, how? Like, where did you find the strength to just like snap out of it and just be like, I'm good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you just during those times, like one thing with mental health is that you become so good at hiding it, especially in front of people. And I think the most important thing is that you always think that it's people that are the happiest.
Yeah, for sure.
They've got it together. They're leading teams. They're so happy. They're so good with customers. They're the ones hurting the most, and that's me to a T. Everyone's like, "Oh, Trevor's so full of life, and Trevor's so la la la," but I was hurting the most. Hours before that, I was contemplating taking my life. Like it was that serious, and yeah, I just drove myself into the ground at work, worked myself to the ground.
But what gave you the courage to like move?
To move to leave.
Yeah, what gave you the courage to leave that career?
When I left that store, it was just knowing that I was getting too good at hiding it. And then, honestly, what probably helped me the most was just seeing my nephews and my niece. Man, they got me out of it. Like, they were just seeing the look in their faces, and yeah, they really helped me through my darkest time. They were young. They don't
Yeah.
even know. Like, all they did was just like little things like, Uncle, are you okay? Like, when everyone else was
But it's the
looking
little
into it.
things that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Like people acknowledging you as a person is
Mm,
what makes you feel good.
yeah.
And like seeing you, like seeing
Mm,
Trevor is what,
mm,
because everyone always got to see the facade of Trevor,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's one thing I've appreciated about our relationship, is that
Mm,
I've been able to see Trevor, like the real Trevor. And I think that probably comes down to trust, and not having the space to feel like you are able to be who you are.
yeah.
But like, looking at what you went through back then into
Mm,
now, I
mm.
feel like you've really grown
I have.
so much
Yeah.
to be able to be in a company that he's in right now, a
Mm,
retail company,
mhm,
where you are the national visual merchandiser
yeah.
for this company, which
Mm,
is amazing.
yeah.
Going from your hardships, and mental health is massive, and mental health doesn't go away. It's an everyday battle.
Yeah.
And to be able to get to the position you are at now, I 100% commend you on that. Like, that's amazing. But like, I just want to know what has driven you to be able to be like so strong in this position now. Because if you think about it, back then you were still manager
Mm.
and it wasn't so heavy,
Yeah.
but now you have so many stores to look
Mm,
after.
hmm.
And like, how do you cope?
I think it's just like age. Like the older you get, the more life experiences you have. But it's just, I think you're in control,
Yeah.
and it's all about mindset. And I just don't settle anymore. Like I've had to cut people out of my life that I thought loved me, but were actually hurting me the most. Um,
Do
yeah.
you do you feel like, because Trevor's really good at being quite confronting, do you
Shucks, thanks.
sorry, Trevor, but like, do you feel like, because I feel like this is a different person now.
Mm,
Like, I feel like you're more open and more
mm,
understanding to things now
mm.
than to what you were literally a year ago.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, how did the change come about? When did the epiphany happen?
It's just like self-evaluation. it's just instead of just trying so hard to work differently and just be different, it's just like looking back and learning from the experiences. So I've gone through a lot of relationships here and there, but it's just what can I do different if I'm still attracting the same energy? Like, why am I still attracting that energy? It's just, yeah. Does that answer the question?
No,
I
absolutely.
think,
So I feel like it's more awareness.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Like you're literally like,
more aware.
yeah,
Yeah, my
which is,
surroundings, who's around me, what I'm doing, what I'm exposing myself. Like, most people would know me, like, I was on my phone 24/7 back in the day. Like, literally would just drop everything if someone messaged me on
but now you
Insta.
just like cut. You're not as hardcore into
Yeah,
social
no, all my
media.
social media notifications are off, and I
That's
check it
good.
when I'm ready.
That's good.
Yeah,
Because like like you're like people wouldn't really know you until they know you, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
But I feel like the Trevor you are now
Mm,
is actually Trevor now. Like I feel like
yeah.
you're showing yourself more to people because you're in control.
Mm,
Where back then you're trying to please everyone and
uh-huh.
trying to be this person and this person and this person. But
Mm,
now you're like, no, this is me. Take me for what I am.
100%.
Which is
Especially with social media.
yeah,
Show you all my highlights, my high moments of life, and trying to control what people thought of me. Now I just don't care.
good.
Think whatever, talk whatever shit about me. Excuse my French, but
I
I
mean,
just don't care.
at the end of the day, like let's be honest, if people are truly for you, they'll be for you,
Amen.
regardless of your flaws
Yeah,
or your good.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and that's how you know that you found true friends. And
Hmm.
I mean, because even your own blood can
Oh, 100%,
can
yes.
shatter you, and that's just
Hmm.
the reality of life. Like, blood isn't thicker than water, unfortunately.
Yeah, facts. As
Facts.
much as everyone says it is. I mean, yeah, just there's always an agenda.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I just think some people that I surround myself with, maybe, I try to surround myself with successful people or just people that just bring value to my life.
Yeah,
Some people see the value as well and they're just trying to use you to get to those
for
people.
sure. I mean, because like
Mm.
for myself, I've always been a firm believer of kindness,
Uh-huh.
right? And so,
Yeah, you have.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's like the core of like what people need to be is like kindness and love.
Mm.
Because like, we get it's crazy because we're the strongest judgment of ourselves.
Oh, 1,000%.
So like when people are judging you, that just adds on to the anxiety of
Yeah,
you already feeling a
we're
certain
already
way.
judging ourselves a
That's
thousand
it.
times
And I
more.
feel like that was a really strong part of how you felt
Mm.
back then.
Mm.
But like now, you're just so much more refreshed and just more
Mm.
enlightened with life.
Mm.
Where and I love what you just previously said that you're just like people that bring value to your life and you bring value to their life, like vice versa is
Mm.
what you're putting yourself in now.
Yeah, 100%.
And like how are you feeling with making that choice now?
Like, so much better. I'm so happy. I just feel so much more relaxed. There's no pressure. Like, I put enough pressure on myself. It's
Yeah,
like, one thing with work is that I would never change my standards for anybody. I would never lower to meet anyone else's.
which is
And
fine.
that's just me. And that's why we clash so much,
Yeah,
is
for
because
sure. Whatever position Trevor was in, that's what he went all wild on. And yeah,
like,
so that's why we never saw eye to eye
oh my
because
god, yes.
there
Like, I would
was
literally storm out of the store and yell at Anne. But it wasn't like anything personal. It
nah,
was
for
always,
sure.
we
It's
always knew
always
it was
it
business.
was business, 100%. But like, yeah, it was crazy, eh?
Oh my god.
We had some crazy times. But like,
Crazy. Yeah.
working within a team, um, and like, let's be honest, like, because right now you're pretty independent in your role.
Mm.
Do you do you have times where you kind of feel really drained, or do you just thrive at the moment? Like at the moment, you're just thriving in it.
Of course, these moments. Like, if anyone says that they don't have those moments, they're
Yeah.
lying. Like, you have to have those moments. And yeah, I have my days where I'm down, and
So what do you do in those days? Do you kind of just sit in it, and then the next day you're up again?
you know what? Like, I think I've just found the right people that I surround myself with at work because I have to vent.
Of
I think
course.
if you keep it in, there's something about just speaking and venting that just makes you feel better.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
get over it. Like, at the end of the day, I love my job. There's certain things, you have your moments where, you want to give up, and then you have your moments
for
where,
sure. That's life in general.
yeah,
That's like personal and like the
period.
and like
Yeah.
work life as well.
Like this week, stressful week, but like, love my job, like the best week. But it's just, yeah, it's just
Well, the fact that like you have a job is a blessing
100%. Like in these times,
for
businesses are
sure.
closing, people are hardship, so I can't complain. I'm super blessed.
Well, like, I just wanted to go back to how you said, being in retail and you felt like you weren't the look
Mm.
or like what advice do you have out there for like anyone that's wanting to, get into retail but feel they don't have the look or, like what are some of the things you reckon they should mentally do for themselves to just like kind of get through that so they're able to go for
Yeah, like honestly,
a
just don't
retail
give
job?
up. Like if it's meant to be, it'll be.
If it's meant to be, it'll be.
It's like I'm a big believer now that everything happens for a reason, and if a door doesn't open, it wasn't meant for you.
I agree.
But I think if you really, really want something, just put your mind to it. And just keep going. Don't give up. You'll have so many doors closed, but that one door that is for you will open.
100%. I
But just
mean,
don't give up. Honestly,
and you will
it's
find the right person that will hire you.
100%. Yeah,
100%.
just don't give up. Block out the noise and just focus, and you'll get there. I think that's the biggest thing, especially with our poly people. We're always about giving and caring about
For
other
sure.
people, and being selfish is not a good thing. But I think
There are
there's
some points in your life
nothing
where
wrong
you
with being
need to
selfish.
be a bit selfish,
100%.
especially when it comes to your own like mental health and just your health in general.
Uh,
Like you need to be a bit selfish because you need to love yourself before you love
mm,
others. And it's actually true,
yeah, and I'll be honest. I'm still working on that. I love myself, but that's
which
just
is
facts.
fine.
Like I'm a person that's just, I'm always on my worst critic. You're always your worst. And I'm still learning to love myself. I'm not like, they're just putting it out there. I'm not trying to make it look like, I've come from all these dark
For
times and
sure.
now I'm like in the best place ever. I still have my struggles. 100%.
But that makes you human.
And I just think people try and hide all of that stuff.
Try to
But
sugarcoat stuff.
yeah,
But like don't sugarcoat it. If you have someone that you're able to talk to them,
oh,
right? And if you're unable to talk to them, there are definitely like I know there's like places that you can call to be able to have that conversation, to speak about it. Because I think that's the biggest thing
mm,
is speaking about it,
mm.
right? Because you held that in for
Oh,
ages.
so long. Yeah, for years.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was
scary.
eating away at me. But yeah, I just think the biggest thing is when you have to be ready. I think, yeah, and you have to talk about it. I think it's so important. You need to reach out for help when you're ready, but you have to want to help yourself as well. Like, you can reach out for help, but
You need to want to make a change
yeah,
or
like
like even small changes. It
100%.
doesn't even have to be massive. It's just like taking that step.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, just for you young people out there, like, don't give up. Like, if you really want it, you'll get there.
Yeah, and don't give up in any sense of it. Like
Yeah.
there's always a job out there for anyone.
Yeah, because I mean, my first job, well, second kind of job, man, honestly, you could not get me to talk. I was
Really?
mute. Like, my
Wow.
first job, or second job, first job I was working, like, making bags with my mum and that. But second job was I was working at the cinemas. And so
Oh, I remember he's talking about the cinemas.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you were forced to talk to people. And then you just, yeah, I started coming out, and now look at me, I'm in front of
He,
people, talking to
he
people all the
can't
time.
stop.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, just, yeah, it's amazing what
Get
keeps
out of your
happening.
comfort zone,
Mm,
eh?
yeah, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It really pushes you.
So like
Yeah.
do you have like anything, that you do on a daily that helps you with just life in itself? Is there anything that you do on a daily that just kind of sets you up for a good day or
Honestly, like when I wake up pretty early. I'm still late. Dude. um, no, honestly, I just like sometimes I just wake up and just take my time to wake up. Like, even if it's just something as simple as like scrolling through TikTok. I don't know. That makes me happy.
Yeah,
And I've
fair
been
enough.
watching. I watch like Tabitha's salon takeover,
Yeah.
or and I'm losing all like the Hell's Kitchen thing.
But this is like people getting to know you, so that's like all good.
Yeah. So it's just like little things like that I just like to do, or just or listening to music. I put my headphones in. I just blast music.
See, that's a vibe. And like,
Yeah.
like, so at this point in your life, you know, where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Honestly, like I obviously want to own my own business, and it just um, but I'm just taking my time. I'm trying to absorb all the information I can in terms of all of the experiences from different types of jobs, different sides of retail, different sides of fashion. Um, so then I can learn and absorb all the information. So when I do decide to do it, I'm equipped. I don't have to pay anyone else to do it. I
And
can do it all myself.
you so gonna do it. You are so good at marketing,
Oh.
and like, he's very pedantic, very much a perfectionist at his craft, and that's really cool. I love that you're very passionate about all your different projects and stuff. But like, I like, out of everything that you've been through in your life, what do you feel like has been the drive or the purpose or the why to everything? Like, is there someone special to you, or is there like, do you know what I mean? Like, what just keeps the momentum going?
Yeah, definitely like family. My mum, obviously, I'm mama's boy. And just yes, it's literally like my brothers, my sisters, my mum, my dad, but even just like my nieces and nephews. Like I just like they're my life. I don't know how to explain it. It's
No,
like having your own kids. I don't even know what it's like to have your own kids.
no, that's for sure. Like,
Just
my brother was the same with my kids, so I can
yeah,
totally understand where you're
yeah,
coming from. Like, nieces and nephews is a major impacts in
yeah,
a lot of people's lives.
yeah. I just want to build something for my family. Um, yeah, I just want the best for my family.
And I feel like you are 100% gonna do that. I feel like you will look back on this interview and you'll be like, I really did it.
Yeah,
I really did it.
and I cried so many times, but yeah.
But that just showed, like you guys know that I've made this platform to be able to either help inspire or just help those that are going through something that, like I said previously, that this is a platform of all, for all people from all walks of life to come on and really speak their truth. And like, I'm grateful that you were able to speak your truth and be very honest about it, because even if that one person is able to feel something or learn from your experience, I think you've done a great job. Yeah. But like, is there a saying or is there something that you live by before we sign off tonight? Like, is there like a saying, or I don't know?
I wish I had something super
No, it
inspirational,
doesn't
but I
even.
don't.
It doesn't even have to be
But
like.
honestly, the advice is just block the noise out and just gun for it. That's it. That's it. Like, just if you really, really want it, just gun for it. Block all the noise out. You're gonna have obstacles that are gonna come and make it hard, but nothing is ever easy. But yeah, just block out the noise. Who cares what people say? Let people talk shit about you.
Yeah, I doubt. That's just
Yeah,
people being people.
100%.
But like, it's been a pleasure to have you on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Who would have
welcome.
thought? This was like take 1,000 because I was too nervous, and now look at me crying, laughing.
Yeah, it's a vibe, but
Yeah.
like, that's the purpose of this, is to help somebody out there. So like, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you guys have taken something away that will be of help to you, or inspiring, or something that you've come to understand that makes you have a deeper understanding because of tonight. But like, I hope you guys have a blessed evening and a blessed rest of the new coming week, and I will see you guys next week for I Am Me with AMP for episode 6.
Period. Sneaky Post Nation signing
Period.
out.